CCL Sports Cards fans, what is up and welcome back. Today, I'm going to tell you about count them, three MLB prospects who are sleepers. Yes, that coveted sleeper pick that won't break the bank and just maybe pay out big down the road. And these cats' first Bowman Chrome autos all cost $20 or less at the time of this writing. Yes, they're still quite young and all took major steps forward this season. In fact, one of these fellas will only set you back $5. But before we get to that, make sure to hit that subscribe icon and like this episode. You'll want to know when content like this drops. It's highly actionable and teaches you episode to episode how to navigate the sports card market and how to make better choices when it comes to the players you choose to collect and invest in. And when all is said and done, maybe make a little money from the greatest hobby on earth. You know, with much of minor league baseball ending or nearing its end and the offseason starting up, however sad that all may be, I thought it would be a great opportunity to share with you some of the players I have taken a good hard look at, both in terms of their year-to-year growth as players, but also how they perform down the stretch, which could indicate further improvement and as a result, higher prices for their first Bowman Chrome autos going into next spring. These players are, of course, players whose cards I have begun to accumulate in some cases, but also plan to add more as baseball goes away and the emotion settles down for a few months. With that, let's get to the sleepers I really feel you need to take a look at this winter. Ready? Let's go. Let's talk about Junior Severino of the Wichita Surge, AA in the Twins organization. Junior's first Bowman autos and base cards can be found in 2021 Bowman. Junior is one of those cases which occur all too often when a product comes out and everyone is hot for a player, which in this case was Aaron Sabato for the Minnesota Twins. And nothing against Aaron, but Union's cards were kind of cast aside as the other guy you get if you chase the Twins. And Junior may turn out to be the player we all should have chased in the first place. These days you can find Junior's first autos for as low as $4 to $5. Yeah, I hear all the chatter now. He's 22, he's going on 23, he's old, blah, 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 blah. I get all that, but that doesn't mean money can't be made when a dude only costs $5. I alluded to this earlier this season in Hot or Not, when Hunter Goodman, then with Low A Fresno, and now a minor league home run hitting machine who has made it all the way to AA, and his cards have skyrocketed. But back to Junior and why I like him so much. First off, he's 22, and that's not a terrible age for AA, and if he plays well, he could see the show next year, or at least AAA. You just never know, and I say that after taking a good hard look at his stats this past few years. Junior had somewhat of a breakout campaign in 2021 after his promotion to High A, which made me take notice late last year. But with far better chases, I put him on the watch list. After hitting a very paltry 245 with an OPS of 740 at Low A Fort Myers, the Twins promoted him to High A Cedar Rapids, where he took a major step forward in so many metrics. The most eye-popping was his average climbing to 321 and his OPS rising to 907 in 35 games, telegraphing, in my opinion, what was to be in 2022. At High A this season, Junior Severino bested his 907 OPS and saw it climb to 970. Not only that, but his strikeouts went down and his walks went up, from 50 and 20 respectively to 45 strikeouts and 23 walks this season. And he played in an extra 12 games this year. Again, you could see this all coming to a certain degree if you dug in. Did you know that his batting average on balls in play was in 2021 was .488? That is crazy high and really told us something special was happening. Of note, I love that this kid has been seeing over 4 pitches per plate appearance since the start of 2021. Better patience, better player. Lastly, the biggest knock on Junior, aside from his slightly high age, was a lack of power. Collectors love homers, myself included. But he answered the bell this season, hitting 19 home runs between 2 levels, with 11 coming in 46 games at High A and 8 home runs coming in 33 games at AA. Great numbers, but to really hammer home that 19 homers in 2022, did you know that Junior has been in the minors in some shape or form since 2017? And he hit a grand total of 20, up to and including last season. You add all that up, and he is a deep sleeper who is breaking out. Then we come to a catcher who was all the rage when 2021 Bowman Chrome dropped. The other fellow's name escapes me from that chase, but the Brewers were a very hot chase, and still are to a certain extent. And Jefferson Cuero had a great deal to do with that, and as his prices have softened. But I say there is way more to like these days with the softening prices. The first and most important factor is that Jefferson Cuero was promoted to High A on August 8th. This alone is reason to put someone on your radar when they're just 19. I mean, let's be fair, low A is great, and we all love to chase young guys. But 90% of them don't make sense price-wise at that level, and as a good friend of mine says, you're better off to chase and maybe even pay a little extra if you like what you see when they get to high A, or even double A in some cases, and then start producing. But let's back up a bit and take a look at Jefferson Cuero. He's only 19 as stated now and at the time of his promotion, and he has produced for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, rewarding management for moving him up a level. But let's dig in here and see why I'm taking a shine to this catcher. Did you know that in rookie ball in 2021, he saw fewer than 2 pitches per plate appearance? Ouch. And while that didn't hurt his production, he still hit .309 in 23 games and added 2 home runs, pitchers will figure out you're a first ball hitter and adjust. And the guys in the higher levels will just carve you up. But Cuero has doubled the number of pitches he's seeing in 2023 to 3.62 per plate appearance. And while that number is a little low, it shows improvement. Cuero also appears to be getting stronger too. In low A in 2022 for the Carolina Mudcats, Cuero played in 75 games and hit just 6 home runs. But he did have 18 doubles. However, upon his promotion, Jefferson played in 20 games for High A Wisconsin and hit 4 home runs, 4 doubles, perhaps turning some of those doubles into homers from low A. Now, do be aware that Cuero only saw 3.3 pitches per plate appearance and struck out 15 times and only walked twice in his 20-game stint with High A. So he'll need to get a little more patient before I really get excited. But given that he was 19 and young for the level, I'll give him a pass. As mentioned, Jefferson Cuero's first Bowman autos are just $20 or less in some cases and can be found in 2021 Bowman Chrome. Then we come to one minor league prospect that subscribers know I have been into a little bit, showcasing autos and purchases in the I Just Invested segments over the last 6 months. And while I was perhaps early with this fella, I don't mind that because after all, it's my money. But now, I feel comfortable recommending you take a look because he is starting to deliver all the promise I saw in him quite early. Just 19 years old, batting left, number 11 outfielder for your Inland Empire 66ers, David Calabrese. David has never really come with any real fanfare, and that is completely understandable, given his real lousy pro debut in 2021. But the Angels liked him enough to take him out of Thornhill, Ontario, in Canada, and with the 82nd pick in 2020. So they clearly saw something. As stated, Calabrese had a real lousy 2021 campaign at rookie ball, playing in just 42 games, hitting .201 with 8 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. And to compound that, he struck out 50 times, more than once per game, and only walked 20 times. All that added up to a lousy OPS of .609. I still liked him, but that probably related more to his age and the fact that the Angels were loaded in 2020 Bowman draft, because he came basically free when you consider that Werner Blakely, the sluggard of Michigan, was in there, Reed Detmers, and not to mention Adam Seminaris, who had a much better season this year, were all also chases for the Angels. But 2022 tells a very different story for the young prospect. He was promoted to low A, the Inland Empire 66ers, to start the 2022 campaign. Said bluntly, David did not hit well at all out of the gate, sporting an average of 188, then 174 in May, but started to show some signs of life in June with a 206 batting average, but still striking out 3 times as much as he walked. Then came July, and this is where I feel David really started to settle into life as a pro. While he only hit 231, nearly his best month as a pro, however lousy that average may be, he sported a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, which showed a little more maturity and patience, which I'm a big fan of. Then he took off like a rocket, which is incredible. And I'll tell you about his numbers in just a moment. The reason it's incredible is this is David's first full season as a pro, and he didn't fizzle out down the stretch in August and September, as can happen to a number of kids when the season winds down. He's human, they're human, we're human. We all get tired. But Mr. Calabrese hit 324 in August, and are you ready for this? 394 in September. His K to walk ratio was better than 2-to-1 in August and 1-to-1 in September. He saw 3.9 pitches per plate appearance in 2022, which I imagine rose into the end of the season, and is 1.6 pitches better than his rookie season. He has 3 times the at-bats this season and got better with a final tally of 23 doubles, 7 triples, 7. Nice wheels, kid. 7 home runs, 64 RBIs, and 26 swiped bags. He was only caught twice. Did you know that his OPS was 878 in August and over 1,000 in September? That's amazing. You add all that up and David is stronger, more selective, and perhaps most important, showing good resilience so far in his modest career. I can point to dozens of players in low A who were awful, much like David was in 2021, and did nothing but play worse in 2022, and then get demoted to rookie ball. David's first Bowman Chrome autos can be found in 2020 Bowman Draft and will run you about $10 for a base auto. But be careful, his cards are getting hotter, i.e. more expensive. Folks, that is it. That is all. Thank you so much for watching. And tell me in the comments below, who is your favorite sleeper or prospect you're chasing this winter? And why do you like them? Remember, all players mentioned are sleepers. And while they can be home runs when you guess right, be selective. And as always, remember, anything said on this channel is strictly my opinion and should be taken as such. You all have an awesome week.